Any of the breaks. The woman who's been putting in some major work over at Rock the Bells, Miss Mary Almonte, is in the building. What's going on?
Hey guys, I've missed you.
We miss you too. And this is what I want to say, Mary. Every time I post anything about you to my story, I get dumbass niggas in my DMs, and I'm like, her husband will shoot you.
I mean, he won't, but
But
I'll shoot them. How about that?
me and Marquis will shoot
He
them as
will.
well.
He will shoot you.
Yeah. But nonetheless,
As
what's
soon as
going
you
on,
go
Mary?
because of her.
We also got the great one, Bailey the Great's in the building.
You, do you ever post me and then get DMs about me?
No,
It's
I
about
don't.
equality.
No, I
It's about
don't.
equality.
Bro, you literally post about your wife every 2 days. Like I don't think I don't think they want those problems.
Touche.
Okay. We also got the red wine connoisseur Marquis here.
All right, I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm here. Let's go.
First up on the docket this week, we got Rory and Mal with their podcast. They signed an exclusive deal with Sirius XM. What do you guys think about, like, because when their podcast first launched, there was some doubt about how good it would be, what they could do without Joe Budden. Even some people saying that it was whack. I've listened to Rory and Mal since it dropped, and I've liked the podcast and the episodes. But Mary, I'll come to you first. What do you think about this deal that they signed, and overall just the growth that they've seen since they left the Joe Budden podcast?
So, much like you, I have yet to check out their solo project, which is bad.
I mean, there's a lot of podcasts.
I mean, I gotta be honest, and this is like, I found them to be great and entertaining, and they all gelled together well, I thought, when they were with Button, but I just wasn't really compelled. To be honest with you, all right, to make this fair, I haven't checked out their show, but I also stopped listening to the Button podcast after they left too. So I felt like it was like a package deal with them. Anyway, I do think this is dope. I do think it's groundbreaking, and kudos to them for kind of holding out. Like, I read a few articles where they had some other, deals in the works that probably would have been, to someone without like business savvy and knowledge, more enticing, but they held out for what was right for them and what felt like a fit. And obviously they're getting compensated in accordance.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's huge for all of us in the podcasting space. So I say salute.
Definitely feel that one there, Marquis. What do you think?
I think this is great. Basically tells you that one monkey don't stop no show.
Mm.
I think most people need to realize you can't put all your eggs in one basket, and if you do, have a backup plan, or just make sure you trust in yourself. So, testament to them. Who's laughing now, right?
Yeah, I think too. What it shows is that while of course, it was called the Joe Budden podcast, that they were integral to what that podcast ended up being like and how it grew. And I also think that they've grown as hosts, being out on their own and not having to rely on the stardom that was Joe Budden. But Baylor, I know you've been a podcasting veteran like me in a while, man. What do you make of this deal? What do you think about it?
Who you calling a monkey? I think it's a dope deal for them. I listened to the first episode that came out when they first split up. Kind of like Mary. I'm not gonna lie, I did tune into a few Joe Budden podcast episodes, but it's still not the same. You know what I mean? I don't think it fell off. It's like watching Phoenix and like Utah play against each other.
Mm.
You know what I mean? They got some solid players. They got some solid players, but it don't seem like it's going nowhere. But I hope they do prevail though. Like they out there. Doesn't Rory manage Emotional Oranges?
I don't know.
Okay, well, it's a solid group, by the way. But I guess it's dope. It's good to see them bounce back off of that. I would like to see more videos.
Overall? Maybe let me ask this question: what do you guys think of the podcasting landscape is going to look like in the next let's say 3 to 5 years with all these exclusive deals, do you think it's going to start becoming, because when the Joe Budden podcast first signed to Spotify, there was a lot of speculation that, Apple was going to try to sign some exclusives, Spotify, other ones. Apple really still hasn't done anything like that. Spotify has the Joe Rogan deal, but do you think we see that become more and more common in the next couple of years, or is it always going to be this thing where it's very few podcasts that sign deals like this?
You know where I think it's going to go, and maybe I'm just tripping, or maybe it's something that I want to see. I think a lot of record labels are going to start signing podcasters, like artists.
That would be dope.
That would be dope.
That would be dope. I mean, a lot of these networks have sprouted up, but I mean, I feel like they've launched and then kind of fizzled out or something. Like Charlemagne started that network, right?
Yeah, with iHeart. Yeah.
Right. And I mean, in the beginning, initially he signed some other, shows, but then I haven't heard anything new. Even Button's network, when it first launched, it kind of seemed like it was coming out fast and furious, and then I haven't heard anything since. I know Kenya Barris is supposed to have something too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I'm definitely tapping into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're gonna start getting signed like rap artists now.
I think most people who have a voice like that don't really need a platform, or a major network to do anything.
And
they
that's
can create their own.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, just like we see with artists, like music artists, is that being independent is kind of the thing. I wonder if you get more money when you sign like that, at least initially up front. But then, like we saw with the Budden and Spotify deal, that eventually deteriorates because you have more. When you can diversify, you can get more money when you're kind of out on your own. We'll see. We'll see the way it goes. It can go a lot of different ways. So, the good thing is that it's more money being spent in podcasting overall, which is good for the game.
You can fuck around and play around if you want to. If Def Jam called my phone tomorrow.
I mean, hey, I'm not turning down shit. Let Def Jam call and be like, we want to fuck with the Breaks Radio. Listen.
But if you have an audience already, then you'll have a team to make sure your shit runs. Yeah. That's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but unlike the hip hop game, there's not too many major names like compared to hip hop or R&B artists that got like a cult like following. Like there's a lot of unsigned hype out here in these streets when it comes to the podcast game. And so if they went that way, it'd be dope to say, that's the wrong record label to pick, but let's just say Bad Boys. Damn,
that's not a good one either.
The problem with that is you don't own control of the content and also the advertisers.
Are we going in there straight like Wu-Tang?
Sounds right, but if you don't have an audience already, they're basically saying, here's my distribution. We have to have total control of the advertisement, what goes into what the sponsors are and everything. And just like the deal that, Prince Rakeem signed, you got to dance, monkey dance until you become Ruler Zigzag Zigala.
That's a second monkey joke, just letting you know.
I could do that.
One more, bro. One more. We may have the title of the podcast. Moving on. Drake's Take Care. 450 weeks on the Billboard Top 200. It becomes the third hip-hop album to do so, coming behind Eminem's Curtain Call and Good Kid, Mad City. I know we're very hard on Drake, rightfully so. More so his fandom than I think Drake himself on this podcast, but,
no.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, no.
But, I mean, the thing is, as the pop artist that he is, this makes sense.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah. I mean, 450 years of slavery too, motherfucker. I'm sorry. Half I want to congratulate the black side, but the other side, no, I'm fucking with you. Go ahead.
I cannot.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm joking.
Go ahead, Mary.
No, I was going to say, I just feel like there's not much to say about that. Like, it's not surprising. I think it's debatable that if it's deserved, but,
he tapped into the right audience.
Draking.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Did you say he's Draking?
Drake is Drake.
Yeah.
Did you just turn Drake into a verb? Wow. Okay. I like that.
Drake be Drake.
All right, let's talk about what everybody wants us to talk about. What I fucking want to talk about. This versus Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One. I know it's easy to say the culture won when it's stuff like this. I know we use a lot of these phrases, but this was the epitome of hip hop and MCing if I ever saw it in my life. The fact that Big Daddy Kane was out there freestyling and rapped on a fucking trap beat for a minute was fucking amazing and bananas. Everything about this from start to finish just made me feel like we should have been standing with like b-boys with cardboard boxes dancing while this shit was going on. This shit was fucking amazing. Who wants to take this one away first?
I'm going last.
Okay.
I was just happy Roxanne was there.
Oh, listen. Shout out to giving motherfucking Roxanne Shante her goddamn flowers like she deserves on that motherfucker. But go ahead, Mary.
I gotta lead it off.
You were there. You gotta lead it off.
Yes. So I will say, seeing a versus in person is very different than seeing it from the other side of your phone or a screen. But this one in particular, I feel like no matter where you were at was special, honestly. And it truly was a celebration of hip hop. And I don't know, like I know you kind of just said before in leading up to this, like, you know, the culture won, hip hop won, blah, blah, blah. But it really did feel that way. And for people who don't really know, especially I feel like people who kind of came into hip hop fandom more recently, hip hop originated with like 4 pillars, right? And it was obviously MCing, right? Or rapping, what people call. Then there's DJing, right? Then there's breaking or dancing, whatever, right? And there's graffiti, which that was the only missing element, honestly. And I mean, it truly was a celebration of 3 of the 4 core elements that hip hop was founded on. I mean, so many moments. I will tell you that one of the most electric moments had to have been when KRS dropped Rapture. I mean, it was electric in there when that happened. And like for me, I remember being in 8th grade in the schoolyard, literally singing that shit while the boys were pretending to be KRS-One. And, you know, like it really did kind of bring me back to a nostalgic place. But yeah, I feel like the energy was palpable. I mean, there were moments that kind of seemed tense for real. In terms of the attendance there, the Bronx was definitely in the building heavy. So you kind of really did feel like it was Boogie Down versus the Juice Crew again, even in the stands, like. But yeah, it really was dope to really be present for that celebration. And like normally we all text each other and that's really the interaction that I have for it. But like to actually be in the building with people, you know, reciting all the verses word for word and like, you know, even with like the pyrotechnics, like it was crazy. It was crazy. So honestly, this one was my favorite one yet. And I don't think it was because I was there. So I'll leave it at that.
That's fair. That's fair. Baylor, you got anything to expound on? Because once Marquis starts going, he's going to go.
I know. I'm actually going to pass it to Marquis. Because once again, it was in y'all backyard again. Mm-hmm. I think it's been
I
like
will say that's the point. They need to do a West Coast versus live at this point. Because this has been very New York. Yeah. I mean, I am mad, but I could see
the only West Coast like, what about us? Versus live was that E40 and Too Short.
Yeah, because we split with the Dogs.
Were they letting people in at that point though? I don't think so.
Oh, you got a point there. You're right. I know they had an expensive ass set.
The only ticketed events were in New York, but I could be wrong. But that's if my memory serves.
I mean, shit, they can go to the South for all I care. I just want to see something different.
Right. I feel you.
I think Ludinelli.
Although this one is different, but no, that wasn't live. Like that wasn't where people.
Wait. What about Jeezy and Gucci was live though? They had let people in there. Yeah.
The end of that one got weird.
Yeah, definitely.
It looked like it was a shooting. But I feel like this one was different from what we've seen because honestly, this was the first one that really had 2 classic hip hop artists. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like all the others were like from the 90s and beyond. This was like that classic era. So,
yeah.
Go ahead, Marky.
No, well, I got a question. Who y'all think won?
Big Daddy Kane.
Who do you think?
I gotta go
I feel
Big
like
Daddy.
it's close, bro. Like I can't like we'd have to go track for track to really rate it, but I feel like whoever won, it's by one. Like honestly, it was close.
Okay.
I think what I will say is this. Also, what was dope was the guests that they brought out. Like you said, Roxanne came. Shout out Rock the Bells family right there. I mean, Big Daddy Kane is one of our Rock the Bells icon. DJ Scratch is one of our Rock the Bells DJs. That was a whole Rock the Bells production, but we're not even gonna go down that road. But so I'm trying to not be biased, but basically I feel like, I was super hyped when Nice and Smooth came out and Das Effects and Mad Lion. So like KRS definitely had some dope features also, like some surprising ones at that. So it's kind of, I don't know, like I feel like it's tight, it's close. And even the break dancers were like legendary, like the Rock Steady crew, like come on. So yeah.
Go ahead, Marky. We're waiting. Stop.
All right.
Don't
All
ask no
right.
more questions. Give it to us.
I just want to know. Yeah, hands down, this is the greatest one to me. This is exactly what hip hop was and needed. That comment you referenced when Big Daddy Kane said, "You lucky I didn't step into that Shan beef with your beef with Shan." The problem with that is Kane can't take KRS, and here's why. Kane is more flow and delivery. KRS is more lyrics. Now, Kane is a showman. Kane basically spit his own shit, didn't rely on the crowd. He's a little younger, but he didn't have to rely on everybody else to be his hype man for him. KRS did a lot of patois. I know a lot of people who follow hip hop, especially the new era, probably wouldn't understand it. And even though Drake tries to jack it, it was witty. One thing I did admire about Kane was that he did apply new hip hop or some of the beats to his set list. But the one thing KRS pointed out, you don't have the hits. You don't have as many bangers as I do. And that's why he had to do that. And also bring out some of the guest appearances that weren't his songs. He kind of had to rely on that, which, no doubt. The freestyle thing, and he told you, I'm not spitting rapid fire. That's not my thing. I'm not going to do that. Again, that's your flow shit. But his freestyle, the one where he basically just shut shit down, that was it. That's the definition of an MC. Again, he told you I threw PM Dawn off the fucking stage. Like I did that shit. But the freestyle I'm dropping right now, talking about Obama, talking about Trump, everything right in front of you, that's real hip hop. At 56 years old, the originator of gangster rap with Criminal Minded, the educator, like the MC. When he dropped the MC, fucking magnificent. KRS won this shit for me. I'm sorry. Kane is the dude. Kane is nice. The KRS is an overall MC. And I'm not saying by one. I'm saying by many.
Okay. All right. This was one of the first verses that honestly I wasn't even on social media. Like I don't know what the social media response was because I was so engulfed in just the experience. Like I don't even think I responded to our group chat for a little bit there because I didn't even think to pick up
Hug
my
up.
phone and tweet anything about it. I didn't. I was just enjoying it. So amazing experience, probably the best one yet. We'll have to do our towards the end of the year. We'll have to rank the verses whatever
Yeah.
for from the year. Because yeah, I'll be
This is King
interested.
Disease for me. I'm telling you right now.
Okay.
This King Disease 2 for me right now. Ain't nothing gonna be better than this. I'm sorry. And look. Granted, generations are different. The appreciation for and a lot of people probably didn't go check out the catalog of Big Daddy Kane and oh my God, Young Gifted and Black. Even KRS pointed out like that's my favorite song. That is my favorite song that Kane ever did. Young Gifted and Black. That is the moment that shit comes on and the shit he's spitting, that's his best song. But yeah, I didn't look away. This is one of the first ones I didn't take a break. I brought my shit with me. I was watching this shit.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, we got some new music to review, or new-ish music. We got an album and then a track. So first up, Meek Mill, "Expensive Pain." Who wants to take this one?
What are we talking about next?
It was expensive to listen to because it was painful. Oh my God. This before I went to Chicago and I listened to it. That he said on the shop. His thing is, he didn't have the motivation to write as much because he had writer's block, but he was watching the young cats do the punch rap, spitting and spitting. That's what it sounded like he was doing because the shit was whack.
Listen,
it sounds like he's now a follower and not a leader anymore.
He was never. It's Meek fucking Mill. Listen, Meek Mill. What do we say? He has 2 good albums, maybe, right? What are we giving him?
Album and a half. He had 2 albums.
2 albums? Yeah, I think he has 2 albums. I was so trying to avoid reviewing this album that, Marquis, when you texted in the group and was like, "Have we reviewed Meek Mill yet?" I was like, "Fuck, man." I was hoping nobody was going to ask about this shit. Because I listened to this shit. And I tell you guys all the time, I like to listen to albums 2 times all the way through before we do a review, just out of the respect to the music itself. I didn't listen to this one the second time through because after the first time I was like, fuck it. I don't give a fuck. There's nothing in this. I didn't take any tracks away from this album. And that is even a low ball on a Meek Mill album. There's usually 2 tracks that I could take and at least put on my damn jogging playlist from a Meek Mill album. This shit, fuck this album.
Damn. Okay. Well, you want me to say something nice?
Nah.
Okay.
I know you ain't got nothing to say nice.
Well, I didn't listen to it.
Good.
So now I really won't.
Good. No, don't. Honestly, like, usually I'll say, well, try to listen to it. Maybe you'll feel differently. Mary, I feel safe. We've been doing this podcast together now. What you've been 2 years? That it's been me. It was me, you, and Baylor before Marquis came on.
Maybe more.
I feel comfortable in saying that you will listen to this album and you would be mad at me for putting it on the list and you having to listen to this album.
Okay.
So don't listen to it. And Baylor's camera just said, fuck it, he's tired of this shit too.
Enough is enough.
All right, moving on. We got 1 track. Mac Miller, yeah. Who wants to take
one
this?
track? I listened to the whole album.
You did? I didn't know if everybody would have time. You guys listen to the whole album? Did everybody listen to the whole album?
I did.
That shit is good.
Listen.
That shit is good. Like, yo, Nas, you got somebody right there with you, brother. I'm on your side. But shit. All right, go listen to it then.
Oh, I heard it.
That shit good.
Go ahead, Marky. Go ahead. I'll let you take it. Go ahead.
This shit was phenomenal. Okay, so the album was done in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfuckers didn't know he was in that much pain.
Yeah, that shit.
This
crazy.
album never came out. Like, yo, it's your soul. The shit he's saying in this album, it's fucking eerie.
Yeah, you can hear his pain. There's a lot of death in there.
God died right after that album. I hate to say it, this might be his best album. It is amazing. What did he say? My grandmother probably slapped me for the drugs I got. A crackhead, but I bought it. We love rocks. We both love rocks. Like, yo, the motherfucker was in pain. The album is amazing. The only reason I say it's not King's Disease, it's not a full hip-hop album. This is more of a fusion alternative. He experimented with this album, but it's fucking phenomenal. It is probably one of the best albums I've heard in a while. Seriously.
He said he did it. He said he did it all without a Drake feature.
Yep, he did. Yep, he did.
He got a track with Rick Ross. That shit, man. And he rapped like Rick Ross on it too. That shit hard.
I'm like, where's this Mac Miller? Like, what happened to this one? Did someone say you can't release this album because niggas might follow you, and this is why Logic came up with 1-800-Suicide or whatever? Like, you can't release this album.
With Vince Staples, that shit bang. And he don't miss on the features at all. You know, Schoolboy was on it. Earl Sweatshirt. That shit, man.
I know I'm probably one of the most critical when it comes to music. I'll admit that. I'll be the first one. But first listen, second listen, third listen, I was fucking amazed. Seriously. Mac Miller.
And I went to that one track. I went to the one track, but I was like, no, I want to hear more.
Ex-
And then I went into certain features. I'm like, yo, this nigga is not missing. He not missing at all.
To me, this is probably his best album. I'm sorry. I couldn't stop listening.
And I skimmed through because it's pretty. You're gonna be on there for a while. Oh, this a perfect. It's a perfect album.
If Kurt Cobain was rapping, this is the album he would release.
Listen, great fucking comparison, Marquis. Mac Miller, second greatest right rapper of all time.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
One.
I don't want to do that.
Marquis, you didn't hear that, did you? He said Mac Miller may be number one.
Rapper, MC.
Are we making that distinction?
I'm sorry.
Look, all right, if you want to do that, he number one in one of them.
Here's what I'll say: if Eminem would have stopped after his third album, he would have been the greatest.
I thought I was talking about Vanilla Ice. My bad.
I cannot.
I forgot about it. Oh my god. Marshall.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't say second greatest. I would never put Eminem and say he's just a white rapper. Like, the dude is in the top 10 of all time, so I can never just dismiss him and say top rapper. Mac Miller's the second. I don't even want to do that. And Mac Miller's cool as fuck. Like, I don't even want to separate him or put him in that category of like MGK and shit.
Oh, come on now. MGK isn't holding a fucking candle to Mac Miller. Come on now.
You know what I mean? Gerald, G Knight, whatever this name is. Those are white rappers to me. Mac Miller is just cool as fuck. I would never just say, oh, he's a white rapper.
Mac Miller is with us.
Yeah, like he's welcome to the barbecue. Him and Schoolboy Q were like this.
Man, listen.
Yeah.
Listen, the fact that Schoolboy Q didn't want to change his album because it was the version that Mac Miller heard before he passed away, like, their relationship was fucking amazing. I'm mad that we didn't have more music from them two together, to be quite honest. But yeah, go ahead, Marky.
I didn't think there's like you wouldn't think their styles would mesh so well. You know what I mean? But they do. That's what I appreciate about them.
Yeah,
Mac Miller is not appreciated for the artist that he is. He's more looked at as a white rapper, and unfortunately, he's much more of a well-rounded artist.
And do you think that is because not only did we get to basically see Mac Miller grow, like, we saw Mac Miller grow up, right? But on top of that, I'm not making the comparison to the type of artists they are. But just to say this, whereas we know Eminem is a student of hip hop, Mac Miller just seemed like an artist who loved hip hop, but he wasn't a student of it in the same way that M was. So I think that's the distinction between there. But Mac Miller fucking is an amazing artist. If you were to label him a rapper, MC, I don't give a damn about labels at this point when it comes to Mac. Mac is fucking amazing. So,
what are your thoughts on the album?
Amazing.
Okay.
I think this is what I think. I think if I would have to sit back and listen if I'm going to say it's his best album or whatnot. But I think every artist has a definitive album that you can say this is them. That's what this is. Now, I don't know if it's his best album, but if somebody was to say, "Hey, give me one Mac Miller album to listen to," so I've never really heard his music, this would be the album in my hand.
I wouldn't. Okay, I'll bring that back. This is my favorite Mac Miller album.
Okay.
I would never recommend this album to listen to.
Because the darkness?
This is who he is. If you want to know who he is as a person,
okay, that's
him. That's his soul. The rest of it, you have to probably put together a compilation. But this, I don't know. This was much more personal than a hip-hop album to me.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Well, we got next up, Black People Like Rock 2, presented by the Red Wine Connoisseur himself. What you got for us this week?
Oh, shit. Word. Y'all giving it to me. Hey, great. No. So, speaking on that, if there was what rapper do you think would make a great rock star?
Lil Wayne.
You know what? I thought of him too because I'm not
joking at all.
Star.
Yeah,
I'm not joking at all. Like, I think he would have been
if he
He's
had
been
the
talking about
musical inclination to be a rock star, I think. So if we're saying if they had the same talent they had in rap and rock star, I'm sorry. I got to just say this from the way that he was able to move crowds, and this isn't because Mary's affiliated, but LL motherfucking Cool J.
Okay.
Yeah. And the
As a
way
rock
he
star?
uses his voice,
Yeah.
I could, or at least back in like the day, it definitely had like rock undertones for sure. You know, one of my faves who was taken from us too soon, honestly, and he was problematic, so I'm sure I'm going to be roasted for even bringing him up. XXX Tentacion.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can stay in that same little the back of that alphabet. I'll put X over there too.
That was
Yeah.
on there too. I can
That's
see
a good
that.
one.
Mhm.
So there actually is a dude, Marquis knows that I'm a fan of him. He kind of flips it between rapping and rock. And I really like his voice and his whole steez. His name's 24K Golden. He's actually from the West Coast.
Mhm.
I actually feel like he should be on like our someone to watch list, to be honest with you. Because he kind of flips it between both genres. So
Busta fucking Rhymes.
That's what I was right about to say.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really like. He's so hip hop though. Like,
But
The Osborne track, yo, the dude flips guitars. Nah, I can see that shit.
I got a group. I would say Onyx.
okay, that's
yeah,
fair.
I can see
Honestly,
that.
yep. Ice Cube did it.
Oh yeah, he did.
Ice Cube did it with Korn.
That's all I
He's not
got.
the epitome of rock star, but you know what I mean? Like, he still had that bravado a little bit. Nas actually did a song with Korn, which was interesting.
I could see Lil Baby going that realm as well.
Oh shit, Doja Cat.
Yeah, Doja Cat definitely. But I think she just falls into that pop category right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think she's getting the credit she deserves for flipping like between genres.
What about Erykah Badu?
I could actually see that.
I could see it. I mean, remember her performance with Jill Scott in Dave Chappelle's Block Party? Like the "You Got Me" whatever rendition they did there was definitely rock inspired.
I could actually see Kanye doing it.
ODB?
Oh, ODB is the epitome of a rock star.
Yeah, he really is.
That's exactly what a rock star was.
He's the definition
Wait
of
till
a
you see
rock
today.
star.
Yeah. He is, yeah. So, that's my list.
All right, that's it.
Any hangovers?
That was pretty exhaustive, don't you think? I mean,
Who'd be the worst?
Jay-Z.
You said the
I swear,
worst?
I was thinking Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
Like,
He'd be the worst.
listen, I appreciated what he did with Linkin Park, but it was like, you just rapped.
Yeah.
And just took your verses and put them over a Linkin Park beat. That wasn't exactly...
Jay's laid back style would just, like, if he tried to bring that to rock music, I think people would just fall asleep.
Yes.
You know who would have been the perfect rock star? Pac.
Who?
Yeah.
Tell me you couldn't see Pac doing it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
He would have burnt out, though. I think Pac would have been, as a rock star, Pac would have had 2 albums before he just fucking coked out.
I was gonna say Kurt Cobain. Whether you believe he was taken out or not.
Oh, man. We're going to go ahead and move right along to our TV and film section. Right along. We're not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Wu-Tang, an American Saga.
Oh, yeah, and Young Thug. Yo, every
Listen, for anyone that has, nobody's asked, but if anyone thinks, why, unless the other 3 on this panel requested, a Young Thug album will never be reviewed. Because I am not doing that shit. I listened to one Young Thug album all the way through, and I almost quit hip hop as a whole. I'm not doing it to myself.
like my
Never,
lifestyle.
never, never.
So I'm hearing this last album is good.
I
Have you
don't
done
give a fuck. It would have to take Tupac, Biggie, Martin Luther King, and Jesus to come send me a message to tell me that Young Thug has a great
White
album.
Jesus or Black Jesus?
Oh, only Black Jesus. We don't acknowledge white Jesus.
Okay. So Black Jesus would come to you and okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a hell of a list. Hell of a band too. I don't know why all you niggas.
I would have to be in the studio at 1 o'clock in the morning, and they would have to appear right in front of me like, nigga, listen to the Young Thug album. And then I would listen to it.
If Martin Luther King said, "Nigga, listen to the Young Thug album," you on some shit. You smoke something heavy.
So there you go. If I ever message you guys like, hey, we're reviewing Young Thug, automatically send me to AA. Like, send me, get me committed, because I'm on some types of drugs that haven't even been invented yet.
It's from Asia. Don't worry about it.
But I'm not gonna be that mean to y'all. I'm just going to respond, and it's not gonna make any sense. So if you email me,
That's normal.
or if you DM me and say, "Hey, can you review Young Thug album?" I'm gonna say, "Who made the potato salad?" And
New phone. Who this?
Yeah.
Jesus, man. All right, moving on. TV film, Wu-Tang and American Saga. Who wants to take this one away first? Mary, did you say you weren't caught up? Or is it BMF you didn't get a chance to watch?
I'm caught up through last Wednesday, not today.
Yeah, I've always watched the new episode after we record. That's my tradition.
Which
So
I would like to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, have we even talked about any of the last two? Because I haven't been here.
We touched on them briefly, but we didn't go in detail because we don't like talking about it without you.
Okay. And I appreciate that. Because y'all know. No, I'm kidding. But the last two episodes have really been, I think, what people have been waiting for, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Between the making of Protect Your Neck, which was masterful, like just showing how the beats like sort of came together in his head, right? RZA's head. And then, you know, the actual, like, I feel like anybody who really is looking to get into the music business really should watch this season, because just showing how they got, you know, the record played on the radio and the grueling process that was, and how it wasn't like this overnight success and everyone really had to put in work, to like them not ever having really performed before and, you know, making that work and kind of having it really not being sure of it until it all came together on stage. It's just really been nothing short of a masterpiece, honestly. Like, and it's like it's moving artfully slow, but, you know, it needs to, so we can like capture all of the details that RZA is dropping for us. So, I mean, I don't know. I really don't even, like, I can't even express how much I'm enjoying this. I'm so sad there's like only 2 episodes left in this season. I don't want it to end, honestly. And there's, you know, for real Wu fans, you know that like this is just the tip of the iceberg and the beginning of the story, and there's such a journey that I really hope they get renewed for more seasons to explore. I mean, from like Triumph to kind of when like all of their individual albums, then when they started kind of not feeling each other. Also,
they have to make it through that, like the rise, the success, and then not really the fall, but then like you said, when it started to be tension. Yeah, right? The comeback.
I mean, the tragedy with ODB, they're gonna have to touch on that. That's gonna be awful to watch. But
the fact
and
that
then even one thing people don't talk about, and I'm gonna let you finish, but Wu-Wear was a phenomenon.
Huge.
Yes, and like they used to have an actual brick and mortar store like right around the corner from my high school, and they literally would be posted up outside of it. Like, that's just another thing, like being from Staten Island, and I try not to harp on this because I'm the only person from there like on this panel and probably that listens to us, but it really does mean something else for us, because we were like the forgotten borough that like got no respect, no props. Nobody even knew who we were outside of New York City, and literally they came and just put us on the map, but then stayed here. Like literally I mean, even the show is a testament. They're shooting it here. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I just appreciate it so much, and I really hope everyone else does too. Honestly.
I was going to just say the fact that we're 2 seasons in and we're still at the beginning of the Wu-Tang story. Like I hope that they don't keep doing this thing where they renew them year after year. Like I want to see them just give them, look, we're renewing you for 3 seasons. Like this because it's so much story to be told, and they're telling it so well. And I'm very hard on like TV shows and long form storytelling. Like I understand that about myself. I'm hard when it on shows that are like that. But they're doing this amazingly, and like you would think like if but somebody who like knows the story, you would think that they're telling it slow, but the way that they're telling it, you don't feel that at all. It doesn't feel like they're dragging their feet at all. It feels like they're giving you a lot of content and detail and fleshing so much out to the music that's so iconic. It's beautiful.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
All right, Baylor.
Gets my pussy wet is what Lala said in the show.
I know, I cringed with that one. I ain't gonna lie. It was like, Lala.
I like the metaphor of RZA talking to 3 different, RZAs.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope. And yeah, but like Mary said, even though it's a slow burn, it's like I love the details in it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And this is one of those shows that's kind of persuading people that don't know much about them or don't know anything about them at all, go back to that catalog so they can get their pussy wet. She said
if applicable.
Marquis.
So I'm gonna separate something real quick. I would love to know the demographics, how they skew. It would be really interesting. That'd be telling. Number one, if it's a person who doesn't know Wu-Tang, they're not going to follow this. They're not going to appreciate it, unfortunately. If you don't know the story, you don't appreciate hip-hop, they're not going to follow this. There's so many things in this. It almost looks like it's fabricated, like it's not real. The only reason we know it's real because we're part of it. We were there. Like, I don't think people will see this, but the RZA has built something that, number one, most black people wouldn't even think of. Like, it's something bigger than just the money in front of us. Like, we're hungry, nigga. Like, it's survival hungry. We need to eat. I need to sell drugs. You're like, look, I need you to commit to me for 5 years. Number one, no black man is going to commit to another black man for 5 years and sign some shit just out of strength or whatever. I got to sell. I got to eat, whatever, like this. And two, the fact that he come up with these deals, he has something for Wu, but he wants each individual to eat by themselves to have their own deal. Back then, niggas didn't think that way. Like, look at your boy Birdman. How am I going to eat and make money off of you? So it seems unrealistic. And the way it's playing out is masterful, like you said, between the music that's built in, the soundtrack, and the way they're like these little instruments that they play of each beat. It's like foreshadow. Fucking brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Touching on something you just said, man. The Wu wear. I'll never forget this whole battle with 50 G Unit and Wu. And Jizza said, yo, that's cute. How many people had 50? Like, we had niggas tattooing Wu on their face. Like, no one's had that. Like, niggas was wearing Wu wear throughout the world, different countries. Nobody heard of you. So that's addressing that. And like you said, the whole Fever episode, how they made that shit happen, that's some real hustle shit. And this is why, like, Baylor, I would love to see Master P's story, because I guarantee you it's something similar, but down there to how he built that empire. Because Staten Island was a forgotten borough. You performed at the Fever, it was hard to get there. The fact that this group that no one knew, they just knew this one song, and how they got this one song airplay was masterful. How they got into the Fever back then, seriously, I don't know. It was amazing. They called in all favors, but the stars aligned for these niggas. Like, it aligned for them to get to the Fever, for them to get the audience, for them to get the following, to drop a song with 9 niggas on it and no chorus. Unheard of. And I got to give a shout out to Meth. Yo, this Meth. No, niggas getting the song. Y'all part of this song too. You get what I'm saying? Y'all remember that? Like, niggas stood in the background when he performed Meth, man. He was like, no, this is our shit. Mm-hmm. I love that. That RZA created this whole empire from niggas who didn't even like each other, who wanted to kill each other, to get these niggas together to where they actually felt like they were family. Like, we have something bigger. That was magnificent. And to me, I'm letting my kids watch this shit, because you need to see this is what culture is. This is what one black man, regardless if he's black or not, thought of. He's not playing chess. He's not playing checkers. He's playing chess. He got screwed by the game.
Literally.
I'm not gonna dance for niggas, huh?
I said literally playing chess, but yes.
He's playing chess. He's like, I'm not gonna dance. I'm actually gonna do this shit.
Yeah.
He did it.
Hey. So that just sparked an idea. Maybe we could bring up one episode. Just bring up some traits of a perfect artist. But I would say this. I mean, a lot of people bring up the business savvy of a Diddy and a Jay-Z. They bring up the charisma of a Pac, but the confidence. And I'm not joking at all. I swear to God, I'm not joking. I'm being real with you. The confidence level of ODB.
Mm-hmm.
He is very important. Like not just to that group, but to life.
Yeah.
Because I would just. Bro, I'll spend money I want to know how he thinks. Because he just does it. And like people look at him like he's not doing the most, but like they afraid to do what he did. You know what I mean? So that one hurt.
Matter of fact, take all those ghosts that I mentioned before. If ODB's ghost came and told me to listen to a Young Thug album, I would listen to it.
That's basically Jesus.
That is Jesus. Yeah.
In one person.
Yeah. He's like, man, son, you tripping, son. Go listen to that, son.
This motherfucker said, "You white people will never take
Could
over.
you wait? Okay, here's the question. Would ODB? How quick would cancel culture try to cancel ODB if he had Twitter?
No, now.
But you know,
now
he would be something's wrong with him.
He would be one of the best. He would be one of the best personalities on Twitter because he does not care.
He doesn't give a fuck.
He would have every organization after him.
Exactly.
Because I believe he lives in his own reality. But I think
But that's sometimes the best place to be, honestly.
Yeah. So. I promise you, he wanted to sing the Star Spangled Banner somewhere. At a stadium or something. I could see that. Him trying. I can see it. After singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, like, this motherfucker did whatever he wanted to do. And he put a shotgun. He reversed it. He was a one-man army. Like, how many people can do shit like that?
But, I mean, like, you bring up Method Man. You bring up RZA. Of course, everybody else. But, man, I don't know, man. ODB was probably the engine. To me,
I'm not gonna say that.
To be honest with you, I really
spark of the lighter.
I really do feel like it is like RZA had said a few episodes back, where everyone is an instrument. Everyone really was their own part of the symphony, truly. Because when you really think about it, each of them had their own unique qualities, sounds, flows. Like I do think that it really took each one to make that group really what it was, honestly.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
I do get what you're saying about ODB. I think he definitely was the source of confidence. He was the hype man. You know what I mean? Like,
but he also took the risk though. And
no, he was way more talented than Flavor Flav.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying
I
don't
have disrespect like that.
No.
Well, he put the battery in everybody's back. Like, I feel like
that's what I'm saying.
Sasha Fierce. I mean, I'm a Beyonce fan, so like he was the embodiment of the Sasha Fierce. Like, let's just get out there. I'm just going based off of
what they're showing us. I don't know him personally. I wasn't there in the huddle. He made certain moves that propelled them to a certain a lane, like for real though, because you got to think when they tell everybody individual story, everybody was struggling.
Yeah.
He was young.
Have to read The Tao of Wu. Seriously, like, because that's the story that RZA wrote of how this all came together, and even things that they went through once they made it. And I feel like this show is following that book pretty closely. So seriously, check that out.
All right,
I'm not being encouraged to say this. So.
let's move on, because we'll talking about Wu-Tang will get us in the rabbit hole because it's so much there. But like the show's amazing. BMF. Go ahead, Baylor. You haven't gone first much today. I want you to take this one first.
I mean, look, man. That shit still it doesn't feel like it's well. Look, I didn't realize how long their history was. Okay, before I looked it up, so I guess I can take back the fact that maybe it's not moving too fast, but it just feels like It doesn't, and it's not fair to compare it to Power, even though, one of the hands that's a part of this show is also a part of Power. But it's like it seems like it lacks a little bit of character development for me. That's about it. I don't. It is there cheesy acting in it? It is. Oh my god, it is. But I don't judge it. I don't judge it by that because I'm more so paying attention to the story, and plus I love the genre in general.
Mm-hmm.
But unlike the Wu series, it feels like there's a lot of shit added on that didn't happen. And honestly, I mean, shout out to our listeners from Detroit, but I'm gonna need some more. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the Wu cats is still here, and they haven't said anything yet that went against what was been shown on TV. So I don't know. I'm still watching it though.
All right,
I
man.
mean, I guess I do feel like it did jump in too quickly. Like you didn't get to know them before the drug game, really. You know what I'm saying? So it just kind of was like, all right, Meech was already in the life, and then the brother seemed to be on the straight and narrow, but then he veered that way. I don't know. I guess I get what you're saying. I think maybe if they would have rewound a little bit and, you saw the innocent side of them first, then
Got
it
like
would.
2 episodes when they were kids, and then they flash back and forth throughout the other episodes. But these niggas is already in meat coats.
Yeah. Yo, but sidebar, the dude whose name escapes me, but the one who's basically trying to take over that came back from jail, he's British in real life.
Yeah, he
That
is.
blew mine.
These cats is taking over.
Yes.
He's good.
I mean, it was crazy though. Like he was on a red carpet and then he just started talking, and I was like, "Wait a minute, is that?"
Let me find out. Dub C is his acting coach too.
Fuck
I
no.
can't.
Fuck no. I've come around on BMF. I was really tough on it. And I'm still not. It's not nearly as good as Power or Raising Kanan or Snowfall. It's not. It's not on those tiers at all. But I do think that the show's improving for me. And I don't know if this first season was difficult for them because they had to end in a certain place. I don't know. But there's a lot of story to be told with the BMF story, and I don't with the way things are going right now, it just feels like we're going to be in the 80s for a long time, and so much of the important part of the story doesn't happen then. So it's like I don't know. That may just be my own hangups on it, but I mean it's solid. It's solid. A lot of the performances I think are corny, but Meech's son has absolutely a future in this acting game.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Marky, you got anything to add?
I just ordered the Tower Wu.
Wow.
I have to order it too. All right, moving on to our last topic for today. This is something that we've been pushing back because we haven't all been together. I wanted us all to be together for this one. Hip hop fashion. This is part one. We're gonna go through the decades and mentioning some of our favorite parts of the hip hop fashion over the course of each decade. We're starting in the 80s. Who wants to take this one away first?
Yeah, give it to Baylor, 'cause I know he want to reference LL.
Okay, go ahead, Baylor.
Oh, hey, look, no, nigga. I got the polo. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna say monkey. That's what I'm not gonna say. Okay.
Oh shit!
I can't say that.
Call me Gorilla. You gonna go there? Go Gorilla.
Silverback.
Gorilla. As they used to say, Gorilla.
Okay. Lacoste. I'm putting on the Lacoste polo shirt.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Levi jeans, starched up, and Nike Cortez with a Jerry curl.
And Ice Cube. Word.
Right. That's the West Coast edition.
Jerry curl.
Adidas soft shells, gold ropes, Kangos, and Adidas outfits, sweatsuits. That's it for me.
You had a Billie Jean jacket. Stop lying.
Nigga, I was fucking 4. I didn't have a Billie Jean jacket.
You wanted a glove.
Your pants leg up?
Huh?
Your pants leg up?
No, my dad didn't. No, my dad would have beat my ass if I had a pants leg up, bro.
Your black ass motherfucking leg down.
He's from the south side of Chicago, bro. Everything's gang related. From literally everything And he is not broke to this day. He's still like that with some shit. Like me and my sister had on an all red sweatsuit one time. He was like, "All right, what neighborhood y'all going when y'all got that on?" I'm like, "Dad, shut the fuck up. I'm 35 fucking years old, dude."
But you don't want to bury his young. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel it. But yeah.
I'll tell my son the same thing.
Gold ropes chains for real. Like that was like
Hell yeah,
iconic.
the
like
Dookie ropes.
Yep, for sure.
And gold. Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing a Jerry curl.
I had a Jerry curl. I'm not gonna lie.
Mary, you had a Jerry curl? Do you have pictures of this?
And a gap.
Do you have pictures of this?
You had a gap in your teeth?
Can you send me a picture of that tonight, please? I'm gonna put it on the cover art for this episode, please.
So,
Mary, you had a Reebok sweatsuit?
I definitely did. All right, that just isn't nice. I'm not even laughing with y'all, for the record.
No, because I had a sweatsuit too.
So, well, okay. So for the record, I was born in the mid '80s. So like, yeah, I was like 6, but yeah, like the stonewashed jeans for girls. I had a Miami Vice T-shirt. I don't know. Yeah, kitten heels.
My pink was real.
Kitten heels.
Bamboo earrings.
Oh, the bamboos.
Extensions in my hair. No, I'm kidding. I didn't have extensions, but the bamboo earrings were definitely a thing, and I still have some.
Oh shit!
Hell no.
And
door knockers. That's the heirloom.
Did y'all take the pictures in the Grand Rising chair?
That's what I'm talking about. That's a family heirloom right there. You hand that down. Bree gonna recognize where that shit came from.
Oh yeah. I mean, listen, when we get to the 90s, it gets real because Bree would be dipped right now if I would have kept my stuff.
Sure.
Because the 90s are back hard body. Like
extremely hard. Like
yes.
The Sherlin is real, my nigga.
Marquise texted me. He said he wore slouch socks.
I didn't know what those are.
Warm.
I didn't know what those are, sir.
I would put them in the group chat.
Nobody had a Michael Jackson glove.
We have reached the point in the podcast in which Baylor is sleepy and it's going to get real. The dad jokes are going to flow.
Oh man! So what was the slang over there? Hey, because we used to make fun of cats in New York all the time. We used to be like, "Yo, son, yeah, what up, B?"
B.
I mean, that was Queens. B. Queens was very much with the B and whatever.
Fresh.
I mean, y'all know y'all used to make fun of this.
F-R-E-S-H.
Mark ass Buster.
Yes.
I mean, that was later on. I mean, but a gangster porty. Like,
porty.
Like that, you know.
Porty.
And even what over here.
Emphasis on the R's. Okay?
Yes.
What over here, dog?
We say our R's. We over here politics.
Oh man, that's so funny. That's so funny. Oh, when we do our first live show, we should have a theme like that. We should pick a era and have a theme.
Everybody dress.
I'm definitely dressing up like an 80s drug lord.
Oh yeah,
because that's what you
That'll
were.
Be great.
I'm gonna have a Gucci bag full of cocaine. It's gonna be sugar though, or flour.
Marquise, you get to go with the hip hop fashion because we need to close this down. Baylor is good.
I'm good.
All right.
No, you know what? The Pumas with the fat laces.
Fat laces.
Yeah.
Shit? Hell yeah, the fat
like
laces.
Like Shaolin Fantastic.
Word.
My Jerry curl
Well, another thing, this is girls only, but banana clips. Those were huge in the 80s.
The West Coast banana clips are a little different.
What you trying to say? Mark ass Buster.
You're
weird. All right, that's been another episode of the Breaks Radio. Go ahead and give me your social media.
Yo, son. What's the mathematics today, son?
Go ahead, Mary.
For my brother's son because he shine like one.
I'm finna mute both you bastards. Go ahead, Mary.
Nah, for real.
We're having a coast slang war right now.
Nigga. How about that? You all lose.
Well, that's somebody's old grandmama right there.
Man. That is hilarious. All right, Mary, go ahead, give me your social media. Let's get the hell up out of here.
Okay, at Miss Mary Almonte on all social platforms, at Young Urban Moms, and y'all better be following Rock the Bells by now, if you love me.
Baylor.
At Baylorism on Twitter, at my pussy is wet, at Wu-Tang.com. Yeah,
I can see
yeah.
you with a Jerry curl.
Baylor definitely
Black
had a
with
Jerry curl at
black
one point in time with the big
the
ass glasses
gazelles.
with the tape in
The
the middle.
gazelles. Mm-hmm.
Wait.
You did.
Baylor, did you? Never
Uh,
mind. I'll say that off air. Go ahead, Marquis. Give me your social media. Let's get the
hell
hell up out
yeah,
of
I
here.
had a pager, cuz.
I can't.
Boobless. Word. So you know me. I don't. You ain't follow me at all. But don't cancel Dave Chappelle. I mean, there's a lot of shit going down with that. There's no canceling Dave Chappelle because if you're gonna cancel Dave Chappelle,
You
a lot
can't
of you other
cancel
niggas need to be
somebody who
canceled.
doesn't give a fuck. You can't cancel Dave
It's not even
Chappelle.
that.
Oh, and did you hear they tried to cancel Michael Myers? No, I'm not joking.
For what?
We all just were
He's
like,
taking a
oh,
stab at it, ain't he?
No,
Like, bro.
for real. You seen the movie? He killed 2 people in there.
You can follow me at CEO Hayes, at
Or
CEO
Asian. Or gay or
HAIZE.
Asian.
You can follow the
Yeah,
podcast at The Breaks Radio. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns,
he was gay and Asian.
thebreaksradio@gmail.com. We out this bitch.
Hey,
Peace.
hey, they tried to cancel my boy.
I cannot.